Welcome everybody to Pokémon Emerald. Let's start off with Torchic, a pure fire type that quickly evolves into a really good fire fighting type. This thing is basically easy mode for this entire game. Its final evolution takes advantage of almost equally good attack and special attack, allowing it to use basically anything it wants. It also obtains a rare move of Blaze Kick, which that move can only be learned by Hitmonlee besides Torchic at this point, which both has a 10% chance to burn targets and has an increased critical hit ratio of 1 out of 8. The only bad thing is that while it does have really good fire, flying, and fighting moves, it has really no diverse type moves otherwise. So if you want an easy pick, Torchic is for you. It is stupidly good, very, very powerful little chicken. Next up, I heard you like Mudkips. A pure water type that quickly evolves into a powerful water ground type. It's a good all-around Pokemon. Mostly a physical attacker, it's due to its decent variety in type moves and only weakness of grass, it stands as a pretty good attacker in almost any situation. Unfortunately, since all water moves are special attacking in this generation, because it's Gen 3, it doesn't get to have any advantage of using its nice attack stat on water moves, so no stab from that. It's also the slowest of the three here, focusing more on taking hits and dealing heavy damage back. Despite this, it's still a great pick, especially since Quagsire's not in this region. So, even if you don't want to use it, it's a really good HM user as well, learning essentially anything except for Fly. So, while it's not such a clean sweeper as Torchic's line is, it's still a great all-around Pokemon to use. And the final one, Treecko. One of the most unique grass-type starters. It retains its typing throughout its entire evolution. Thank you for changing this, Mega Evolutions, dear God. This thing breaks the stigma of grass types, for it becomes the fastest grass type in the entire series at this point. It's also more of an attacker rather than a setupper like Bulbasaur and Chikorita in the past, making it a speedy grass sweeper. Unfortunately, it doesn't really get that many good moves to take advantage of its niche besides Leaf Blade, but there are some decent moves such as Dragon Claw and Toxic. Due to it being Gen 3 though, it does suffer from learning primarily physical moves except for its stab grass moves. It also takes a hit from being pure grass type because, well, it's permanently weak to 5 types, that being bug, poison, flying, ice, and fire. Besides that, it's still a great pick if you want a speedy sweeper with some setbacks to make it interesting. Poochyena. Strangely a very early on dark type. It's a pure dark type that holds its own for quite a while actually. While its ability of Runaway sucks majorly, it does replace it with the coveted Intimidate when it evolves into a... until it evolves into a Mightyena. I'm getting tongue-tied, I apologize. Along with this, it evolves pretty early on at level 18, which is pretty nice. While its stats are decent all around, dark types are less about attacking and more about setting up traps, especially since at this point, its generation's dark type moves are garbage and are purely special moves. So, there are some good TM moves that you can put on it, like Shadow Ball and Thief, but otherwise, besides covering against psychic types, it really can't do a whole lot offensively or defensively. It's nice early on, but it falls off pretty harsh. Next up, which is also facing our screen, is Wurmple. No. A pure bug type with a split evolution anywhere you go with this thing just sucks. On the Beautify line, it's a strong Pokemon in the beginning that has a nice special attack stat, but due to its bug and flying moves being physical in this generation, its only good moves that it takes advantage of are grass moves like Mega Drain, since it's mostly a special attacker on that route. Along with that, it just doesn't learn much, and it's rendered useless by the time you get to the first gym. As for Dustox's line, it's even worse due to its worse attacking stats and its focus on defense. It's a good tank in the early game, but Beautifly can't, Beautifly, it just can't take advantage of stab moves, and it's pretty much rendered useless by the first gym as well. Wurmple's evolutions are fine if you need something against darker grass types, but only for the extreme early game, and to be honest with you, we don't really run into that besides Poochyena, and we can easily deal with those. As for the last Pokemon you can run into here, is Zigzagoon. It's just standard Rattata of this game, and is a pure normal type. It really doesn't do much besides being a good HM user. Its fully evolved form is strangely fast and has okay stats, but normal types get trivialized by a later Pokemon we'll see very soon, actually. However, this thing is beautiful for its ability of pickup, which allows it to pick up random items as you're walking around. It's very useful, especially if you get some, since you can get some rare items at the higher levels. As such, it's a good HM user / item grinding Pokemon, but that's about it, unfortunately. Wingull, a water flying type that's actually not a bad Pokemon. While yes, it's not Gyarados, this thing does have some unique traits. Due to it being Generation 3, it takes advantage of a ton of moves through its eventually good special attacks such as Ice Beam and Shockwave for some reason. Along with this, it gets a good stab. Good stab from Surf and becomes a good flyer as well. Add this with solid physical defense, it can actually be something pretty interesting. The only issues is that it is frail. When I say frail, I mean it has a low HP stat. It has decent defenses, just not a good HP stat, and it isn't the fastest thing in the world. Along with this ability of Keen Eye being almost not important. Besides that, it gains some good resistances. It's only weak to rock and quad weak to electric. It has a nice immunity to ground. It's not as terrible as people make this thing out to be, especially since flying type Pokemon are very limited in this game. There's not that many of them. Lotad. It's a great water grass type that is really awkward for opponents to go up against. Sadly, it's just straight up unobtainable in Ruby, but it is so good if you can get it in Emerald and Sapphire. Offensively, it's awesome due to its good special attack and wide variety of moves in combination with Stab like Giga Drain and Surf, or non-stab moves even like Ice Beam. Another great benefit if you get one of these things is the ability of Rain Dish, for it'll heal itself through rain. So slap on Rain Dance and you can get some pretty good offensive moves, and you get yourself a really good Pokemon that can heal itself over time. The only downside with it is that getting its final evolution into Ludicolo requires a Water Stone, and we will not be getting one of those for a very long time, so you're going to be stuck with Lombre for a while. Otherwise, it's a great addition if you don't have a Grass or Water type chosen. It fills both of those roles very, very well. Another Pokemon we can get here is Seedot, a 1% chance encounter in Emerald and is completely unobtainable in Sapphire. It's also in Ruby, I believe. It's a situationally amazing sweeper. Its fully evolved form of Shiftry becomes a great grass dark type and has jacked attack stats. However, if you get one with Chlorophyll and get Sunny Day on it, it will outspeed literally everything and would give it a reason to use Solar Beam on top of that. Besides that, most of its good moves are limited by TMs, and Shiftry literally can't learn anything by leveling up, so you have to make sure you get everything you want on it as a Nuzleaf before evolving it. Along with this, its dual typing gives it 6 total weaknesses, including a quad weakness to Bug of all things. And last major negative is that a Leaf Stone, kind of like a Water Stone right now, is difficult to get at the moment, so you won't have a Shiftry for a very long time. Overall, it's not bad by any means, but it's tougher to use and raise due to it relying on Chlorophyll at best. So, yeah, if you want something kind of gimmicky and very rare to find, there you go. Ralts here. Yes, a million times yes! It's a pure Psychic type throughout its entire evolution. It is a special attacking monster when fully evolved. It has Destructive Stab through Psychic. It can learn some really wacky special moves like Shadow Ball and Thunderbolt. It's stupidly powerful as a special attacker, and it's quite the special tank as well. The only bad thing is that it has okay HP and speed, but otherwise it annihilates the competition, even comparing to Alakazam. The only bad thing is that it's pretty difficult to find. It's a 4% chance to find it here, and it does have Teleport, so kind of like Abra, it will just try to run away from you. But if you are able to get it, it is amazingly dumb. It is such a powerful Pokemon, and I highly recommend it if you've never used one. The last Pokemon we can get here is Surskit. It's a 1% chance of finding, so it's even rarer than freaking Ralt of all things. And it only shows up in Ruby and Sapphire at this point in the game. It's a weirdo that goes from a bug water type into a bug flying type. However, it's not nearly as bad as Wurmple's as its Wurmple cousin. I can't freaking speak. Fully evolved, it does have commendable stats along with a good special attack, but its move pool completely screws it over, along with its typing. Any stab move this thing would have gotten is all physical in this generation, removing any benefit from its special attack stat. Along with that, even the one good bug move it gets, it doesn't learn it until level 47. It can learn some good TMs like Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, and Giga Drain, but honestly, I think that's just wasted on this thing. There are far better Pokemon that can use those abilities than, well, Surskit, and by extension, Masquerain. The only good thing I can say about it is that it eventually has the ability of Intimidate as a Masquerain, but that's about it. Not really much is said about this thing. It kind of sucks. Tailo. It's a Pidgey clone that's far more aggressive. It's actually really, really good. Its ability of Guts makes it a super dangerous sweeper that gets stabbed from its normal flying typing, along with its good attack stab. Fully evolved, however, it becomes stupidly fast, becoming a hyper-aggressive flyer that can do some really good damage. As such, it's a standard but really great flying type that can put in really good work. I highly recommend it. A lot of people use it for their endgame team. Endgame teams. I'm having troubles. I apologize. Next up, you have Marill. It's a pure water type and only here in Emerald. It's not horrible by any means, but it's not great. Thanks to Generation 3, it can't take advantage of any water moves because it is a physical attacker, and its only good physical moves it learns are Double Edge and Brick Break. This is furthered by the lost potential of Huge Power, which doubles its attack stat by double, but that ability doesn't exist yet. As such, it's a physical water type that can't take advantage of its own typed moves, nor any amazing physical moves. It's also slow, and it's only really good for its HP stat. There's a lot better water types out there, especially with the existence of Lotad's line. Silcoon. It's a pure bug type, essentially the Metapod of Wurmple's line. The only good thing about it is that it can evolve soon into the better Beautifly, but that's about it. At this point, too, this is where I would say Beautifly would have dropped off in viability. Yeah, it drops off very quickly. It's only good if you want to if you just want to skip the random evolutions of Wurmple, but that's about it. And by extension, you have Cascoon. It's also a pure bug type. It's basically what I said about Silcoon. The downside is that it evolves into the worst Dustox. I would not just recommend either of those things, because again, both of those Pokemon would have dropped off at this point, and they just kind of suck, I'm sorry. They're only nice if you want to get the Dex completion, and if you don't want to deal with Wurmple's evolutions. An entirely new Pokemon that shows up here is Shroomish. It's a pure grass type that turns into a really good physical grass fighting type. It's a health sucker and status dealer while also dishing out some good physical damage back. Its ability of Effect Spore also makes it awkward for other physical attackers to hit it, and it naturally learns support moves like Leech Seed or status moves like Poison Powder and even Stun Spore. While it has a very glaring quad weakness to flying, it can do some heavy damage back still. Due to this, it was very common back then to see this in competitive fights and in challenge runs. The only bad thing is that due to Gen 3, you can't take advantage of Grass Stab because all grass moves are special and it's a physical attacker, but it does make up for that by having a really good fighting type stab. As such, it's a great grass type that breaks the mold a little bit like Trico. Is Slackoth. Dear God, this thing is very, very stupid. Admittedly, it's a really crappy normal type that can move only once every other turn thanks to its really bad ability of Truant. While this ability remains on its final evolution, its stats become monstrous. surpassing even some legendary Pokemon stats. It also bolsters good speed and defense. As such, it also gets ridiculously high HP and attack stats. As such, it's an amazing strategy with this thing to have it hold a Silk Scarf and spam Hyper Beam. It only moves once every other turn, might as well take advantage and use Hyper Beam anyways. For raw damage, this thing annihilates the competition. Thanks to its pure normal typing as well, it's only weak to, well, fighting. It is stupidly powerful. As such, if you can raise it, and if you can find it, it is easily the best normal type in this entire game. Hands down. In Ruby and Sapphire, instead, you get a Makuhita for a Slakoth. Makuhita is a pure fighting type and takes a different stance than what most fighting types are known for. Instead of being frail and fast and physically strong, it has a crap ton of HP and is more built as a tank that can hit back hard, but it's slow as a result. It strangely is limited on naturally learned fighting type moves besides Vital Throw, so you're better off using TMs, especially since it can get Brick Break and Earthquake for some reason. It can also be spec'd for tankiness with Thick Fat or for raw power through Guts. Besides that, it is slow and its defenses are okay, plus it's very limited on what it can learn, but it's a good pick, just not here. We can catch this Pokemon pretty near in the future, especially since he's wanting a Slakoth for that trade in those games. It's just not worth it. Whismur. It's a pure normal type, and it's meh at best. Its problems arise from its decent stats and lengthy evolution levels. It's mostly a generic normal type that can use whatever you want on it thanks to its equalized attack stats. As such, it's easily replaceable and is just downright overshadowed by the existence of Slacking. That's the problem with Slacking's line. Every normal type that we see is just going to get overshadowed by that thing, and this is no exception. Another new Pokemon we can get here, hello you, I guess we can talk about you now, is Abra. It's a pure Psychic type and is a great alternative to Ralts, only found in Emerald at this point. It's as powerful as the Ralts line while having an extremely high speed stat at the cost of being frail and requiring a trade for its full evolution. Like Ralts, it can learn a lot of different moves from TMs and it can take advantage of Psychic. Otherwise, Abra's line is notoriously overpowered for a reason. It's a very good Psychic type. Another new Pokemon we can get is Nincada. It's an interesting bug and ground type that evolves into 2 Pokemon at once if you have an empty slot in your party. By itself, it's just a tanky bug, but its evolution of Ninjask is an awesome team support Pokemon. Ninjask is stupidly fast, it gets the coveted ability of Speed Boost to keep it fast, and it can do some pretty cool stuff with Swords Dance and Baton Pass, making it to where it can buff itself up, then pass on those buffs to another Pokemon for free. The bad thing about it is that it is frail, but if you raise it right, it can easily wreak havoc by buffing your other team members. As for the line going towards Shedinja, it proposes an interesting niche of being extremely annoying, especially in competitive battling. While it only ever has 1 HP, its ability of Wonder Guard makes it immune to every type that it's not weak to. Therefore, due to its unique Ghost Bug typing, it can only be hit by Fire, Flying, Rock, Ghost, and Dark moves. However, the only good stat on this thing is its attack stat, and it really doesn't do much else, especially since the only stats you can realistically use are its offensive stats and speed, since HP and defenses are pointless. As such, it's a bug type that gives interesting options, for Nincada at least, but yeah. Another new Pokemon we can get here is Skitty. It's a pure normal type, and it's more gimmicky and ridiculously hard to find at 2% for all versions for some reason. It just doesn't do much. This thing's existence relies on using attractions like Cute Charm and Attract to immobilize people and allow you to just whittle them down. However, the strategy is horrible due to its bad stats, and it completely falls apart if the opponent is the same gender as it. So, another negative too is that Delcatty's, which is its evolution, doesn't learn any level up moves. So if you want to have anything to naturally learn on it, you have to get it through Skitty first for some reason. Like Whismur as well, it's just completely overshadowed by the fact that Slacking exists, or I guess I should say Slackoth's line. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Tentacool. It's found here at the earliest. It's a water poison type that is very bulky through its special defense and natural resistances. Its bulkiness can be furthered by its ability of Liquid Ooze, which damages those who uses drain moves on it. However, the real benefit comes from Clear Body, which makes it immune to stat reductions entirely. It also learns numerous strange moves like Ice Beam and Giga Drain through TMs, while also getting nice stab through Surf and Sludge Bomb. As such, it's a great water poison type that focuses on taking hits. It's really good. Magikarp. It's virtually found anywhere. It's a common pure water type that can't even attack until level 15. However, if you fully evolve it, it turns it into the monster that Gyarados is known for. With its really good typing of water flying, and its coveted ability of Intimidate, and its a high attack stat, it's a force to be reckoned with. The only bad thing is that Gen 3 screws its physical prowess since all water moves are special, but it can still take advantage of Earthquake in return. As such, it's a really good pick for a destructive water type. It's a classic, it's Gyarados. Another Pokemon that can be found at earliest in Route 102 at a 30% chance is Goldeen. It's the most mediocre water type in my opinion that exists. It's got bad stats, it's got bad abilities, it takes a while for it to evolve, and it has a terrible level up move pool. Like, it can't even learn an attacking water move until level friggin' 41, and even then it can't take advantage of it due to it being a physical attacker. It's just not a good water type, especially since we have options like Gyarados and even Lotad at this point. Geodude. Basically found anywhere in this place has multiple floors. It's a rock ground type that's better than how it looks. It focuses purely on physical defense and offense, making it a powerhouse with Earthquake and Rock Slide. However, its typing cripples it against the smallest blade of grass or drop of water. Along with that, it's weak to ice, fighting, and ground. It's also very painfully slow, and can only evolve fully through trading, which is really unfortunate. If you get this, get it with Rockhead because Sturdy doesn't do anything helpful until Gen 5. Another new Pokemon we can get here is Zubat. Basically found anywhere in this place. It's an awesome poison flying type if you can raise it. Its fully evolved form is wicked fast and offensively viable. If you want to be gimmicky with it, slap on Toxic and use Confuse Ray to Toxic Stall while also setting up Double Team to dodge everything or knock out stuff with Wing Attack and Sludge Bomb. Since its final evolution relies on happiness, it can be pretty hard to raise, especially since Zubat has notoriously horrible moves. And yeah, it doesn't get anything good until like the level 20 something area. It's unfortunate. Aeron. Aeron's only found in the basement floor. It's pretty much the floor I'm on right now. Also, yes, it's extremely dark. I'm not going to fully explore this place right now. We can't use flash. We just want to get through this place. It is a steel rock type that eventually gets a wickedly high defense stat for some reason. It is stupid. It literally sits at 180 for defense once it's fully evolved into an Aggron. It's, thanks to its typing, it gains numerous resistances and a whole immunity to poison. Which, does this thing really need an immunity? Dear God. Along with that, it can take advantage of steel and rock moves since they are physical, but unfortunately, it can't learn any natural rock move, and the only one it can learn that's good, I guess, is Rock Tomb. Weirdly, it can also learn Thunderbolt for some reason and Ice Beam, again for some reason. But it's better with Iron Tail and Metal Claw and Earthquake. Along with that, its typing makes it quad weak to fighting and ground while also still making it weak to water. Lastly, it's really slow, so you're likely just gonna be tanking hits for the most part rather than dishing them back. It's not bad by any means, but it does have its downsides. Like Geodude's line, make sure you get this thing with Rockhead. Trust me, you're gonna want that. Another new Pokemon and it's only found here in Ruby. At the basement floor, you can find Mawile. It just sucks. Since it's Gen 3, it's a pure Steel type with nothing to show for it. It literally cannot learn any offensive Steel type moves, and it has mediocre stats at best. The only thing that has going for it are its abilities, but that's about it. No evolution, nothing. It has nothing to show. Alternatively, in the basement floor only in Sapphire and Emerald is the counterpart of Sableye. It's weird dark ghost type, meaning it has no weaknesses in this generation and is designed to throw off the opponent by using Fake Out, Detect, Confuse Ray, and Knock Off. Besides that, its stats are meh at best and it can't do much besides be more of an annoying Zubat, really. The downside is that it is slow, so it's likely to go down before it even has a chance of doing annoying stuff. Use it if you want a challenge, that's about it. Electrike. Electrike is a pure electric type and should not really be slept on. Now yes, it's extremely limited due to being an electric special attacker. It's damn good at its job though. Adding with its equally good speed for its special attack, you'll likely outspeed most Pokemon. However, it's frail with meh defenses, so it's definitely more of a glass cannon more than anything. If you go for this thing, get it with Static since Lightning Rod is basically pointless. Static's great because it can randomly paralyze things if they make physical contact with you. Another new Pokemon is Plusle. It's a pure electric type as well. It's not bad, but it's not the greatest either. Its gimmick is through its Plus ability, which raises its special attack by 50% if it's in a double battle alongside with Minun, or a Pokemon with the minus ability, which pretty much is just Minun. Both Plusle and Minun benefit from each other and work off of moves like Helping Hand. While that sounds great, there are a few times that you're forced into double fights, so it kind of makes that ability completely useless. While it has good speed, everything else is just okay at best. It has no evolution, that's about it. As for its counterpart of Minun, it's nearly identical to Plusle. Many of the things said about Plusle apply to Minun. As such, there's really not much to say besides that it has the minus ability, which is its counterpart to Plus. That's about it. Another new one is Gulpin. It's a middle-of-the-road poison type. It has its ups and downs. Some positives are that it can turn itself into a tank through Stockpile and Amnesia, then make itself become a Toxic Staller. Along with that, it evolves decently early, but that's about it for its positives. Its negatives, however, are that it has a lack of good offensive moves without TMs, and it has mediocre stats besides its HP stat. I'd say if you're gonna use it, I'd say use it if you're bored, but there are other better poison types like Tentacool that we can get, and some later ones are much better than it. The last new Pokemon in this route is Oddish. It's a classic grass poison type with strategic options. It has a similar issue that the Shiftry line faces in that, it has a similar issue for Shiftry's line. For its Vileplume line, it becomes specially offensive and defensive, but is slow without the sun. If you have Chlorophyll active, however, it can easily sweep teams thanks to its double stab in Grass and Poison. As for its Blossom line, it trades its offensive prowess for a balance in defense and loses its poison typing. Personally, I think Vileplume is much better due to its potential of sweeping, but it's really hard to raise. That's about it. Is Nosepass. Nosepass is weird. Despite being a really tanky rock type, there's really not much to say about it. It gets access to really strange moves like Zap Cannon for some reason and can learn Thunderbolt and Thunder from TMs. Otherwise, its non-defensive stats are garbage, and since it can't evolve yet because it's not Gen 4, it just kind of sucks. It's kind of just here. It's more of a tank that uses electric moves for some reason. Volbeat. One, a very good rock band, but two, it's a weird bug type that really doesn't do much. It barely gets any attacking moves leveling up, let alone any stab moves until level 25. And most of its good TMs for it are special moves, which this thing's special stat is awful. Or its special attack stat, I should say. It has mediocre stats with not much to show for it. I guess it's unique that it's the only Pokemon with Tail Glow, which, actually, I think that's, I can't remember. I think it's Volbeat that has it, but I can't remember. The only other Pokemon that learns Tail Glow in the future is Manaphy, and that's not even in this generation yet. Otherwise, it's an easy skip, it has no evolution, and it has bad abilities. As for its counterpart of Illumise, it's basically the same as Volbeat, but more specially offensive and even less varied with attacking moves. It literally can't learn a bug move at all, which is just sad at this point. I guess it has a slightly better ability, but that's about it. It's just garbage. There's no evolution, nothing to show for it. The last new Pokemon you can get here is Roselia. It's a grass poison type that is extremely limited on what it can do. Its only moves that it can take advantage of through its special attack stat are grass moves, which, hey, special stab is pretty good, I guess, but it's mostly known for setting up moves like Leech Seed, Toxic, and Drain moves to whittle down opponents. However, thanks to it not being Gen 4, it can't evolve at all, so it's just kind of stuck in the middle. It's kind of just an awkward teenage stage that can't do anything. It's stuck at being a niche Pokemon that can get very overshadowed by better grass types, especially in the future. Nummel. It's a unique fire-ground type that becomes a destructive powerhouse when fully evolved. Thanks to its almost equally good offensive stats, it can pretty much use anything it wants without any problem. Its typing also gives it an amazing stab for both Earthquake and either Eruption or Flamethrower. Fire Ground's a really good typing for that. The only bad thing is that it is slow and its other stats are meh, but it can be amazing if used right. Just be aware that it has a quad weakness to water and you should be fine. And only found in Ruby and Sapphire, you can get Machop here. It's truly a strong pure fighting type. Stupidly high attack stat with good HP and can learn a plethora of amazing physical moves such as Earthquake and Brick Break. Along with that, this is before it can get No Guard, meaning that it will always have the ability of Guts, which is awesome. The only bad things are that it has okay defense and bad speed, along with the fact that it relies on trading for its full evolution. Otherwise, it's awesome. I highly recommend this thing, especially if you can get it evolved into a Machamp. Coughing. It's a really tanky and physically good poison type. It's awkward to deal with since it has the ability of Levitate. It takes advantage of Gen 3 moves since all poison moves are physical and it's a physical attacker. It's really adept at setting up Toxic and, in a pinch, using Explosion to clear the field. It can also learn some good coverage moves like Shadow Ball, but however, its best poison move is Sludge, unless if you can get a Sludge Bomb TM. Besides that, it can be awkward to use due to its limited learn pool, but it's pretty good. I highly recommend it. Next Pokemon you can find there is Torkoal, a crazy defensive fire type. It does the bare minimum of being a good fire type, however. While extremely slow, it can easily take physical hits and return decent damage through Flamethrower. It also likes to set up defensive moves like Iron Defense and Amnesia and keeps those buffs through White Smoke, which prevents stat reductions. Honestly, I prefer Nummel because of its wide variety of moves, but Torkoal isn't terrible. It's just really good at one certain thing, and that's tanking and dealing damage back. Another new Pokemon is Slugma. It's a much worse Torkoal. It's a fire type that turns into a fire rock type and is painfully slow even when evolved, and it just has way too many weaknesses. That being 2 quad weaknesses to ground and water, not quad weak, yeah, it is a quad weakness, water and ground, and normal weaknesses against fighting and rock. The only redeeming qualities this thing has are that it's physically tanky, and it learns some decent fire moves pretty early on, and it has a good ability of Flame Body. Otherwise, it's just so slow that you're never gonna go first. And it has so many weaknesses that it's likely just going to go down before it gets a chance to do anything. The last new Pokemon you can find in Fiery Path is Grimer. At a 2% chance for some reason in Ruby and Emerald, it's actually pretty good. Thanks to Gen 3, it benefits better from poison moves like Coughing does, so it can take advantage of really good poison moves like Sludge or Sludge Bomb. Thanks to Gen 3, I'm reading over my notes again, it also has a high HP attack and special defense stat at the cost of speed, so you will have to worry about it being a little slow. While a little late, it can get the coveted poison moves of Acid Armor and Sludge Bomb naturally. The only thing I would say is to not get this thing with Stench, for this has no effect in battle. Spinda. No. This is a pure normal type that is completely pointless. It literally has a stat of 60 across the board and has a weirdly normal or powerful normal type moves that are just wasted on this thing. There's not much to say besides that it's just weird. There's no strategy or benefit from this thing besides being funny. Again, it has weirdly powerful normal type moves, but nothing to really show for it. It's kinda just there. For trivia on that though, the spots of Spinda are generated randomly based on personality values. So if you wanted to collect every single pattern of Spinda, you would need almost 4.3 billion different Spinda, and that's not counting shiny variants. Another new Pokemon we can get here is Sandshrew. Only found in Ruby and Sapphire, it's a physically offensive and defensive ground type that can do its job decently well. Through its TMs, it can do some powerful stuff like Earthquake and Brick Break and Iron Tail. However, its level up pool is complete garbage. While it's only good, the only ground type move it learns that's an attacking ground move is at level 25, and it's only Sand Tomb. Why? Its ability, however, makes it an evasion tank with Sandstorm active, so it's pretty nice. If you can get access to Earthquake and Iron Tail and stuff like that, Sandshrews pretty good, but besides that, it's unfortunately just really bad due to poor level up moves. And the last new Pokemon we can get here is Skarmory. I love Skarmory. It is so freaking good. So, Skarmory is a flying steel type, first of all. It is a wickedly physical tank, or a wicked physical tank with 2 whole immunities, and only 2 weaknesses with several resistances. Its gimmick is to set up spikes and toxic, and just be annoying with Steel Wing to whittle down the opponent. While its other stats are okay, it is ridiculously hard to take this thing down without a fire or electric type move, since it resists 7 total types, including 2 quad resistances. As such, it can be a really good strategic choice for competitive battling or high skill battles. Along with that, it's great for double battles too for that. Swablu. It's a decently tanky dragon flying, well, eventually a dragon flying type, right now it's a normal flying type, that can put in the work if raised right. It carries pretty balanced defenses, allowing you to use basically whatever you want on it. It's one of the very few dragon types in this game, or at least dragon types that, well, actually turned into a dragon type, I should say. Which is really nice if you're not going to be using an ice type, which are also very rare in Hoenn. However, it is the weakest when it comes to stats compared to the other dragons, which really isn't saying much since its competition is against 2 pseudo-legendaries, one of them being competitively banned. And it naturally doesn't learn any good dragon move besides Dragon Breath. It does have a good TM pool though, such as learning Dragon Claw, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, even Earthquake. It can also get the coveted move of Dragon Dance naturally, so it can become a pretty good physical sweeper. Personally, I think it's a great special attacker that's decently tanky. It's a good choice for those who don't want an overpowered dragon type. Next up in the list, and only in Sapphire and Emerald, is Lombre. Lombre is basically just a better Lotad. Water grass type, it's only 1 step away from evolving. It's pretty good. It learns a wide variety of moves and becomes specially offensive and defensive. If you get this, try to get its ability of Rain Dish on it. For, well, it heals itself from each, time the rain goes off. Otherwise, anything said previously about Lotad can be said with Lombre, but better. It's still a while away before we are able to get its evolutionary stone, but it's Yeah, it's a bit of a hindrance for it, unfortunately. It's just gonna be a long time before we start getting evolutionary stones. Next up, only found in Ruby, is Zangoose. It's a speedy and physically great pure normal type that can wreak havoc if it wants to. Naturally learns really good moves like Crush Claw and Sword Stance. It also learns great moves through TMs like Shadow Ball, Brick, and Iron Tail, all of which are physical in this generation. Another beautiful aspect is that it cannot be poisoned thanks to its ability of immunity, just giving it one more extra thing. The only bad things are that it is a little bit frail and it doesn't get a good normal type move besides Crush Claw naturally. As such, slap on a Silk Scarf and give it return, for it could be a destructive alternative to, well, the overpowered Slacking line. As for its counterpart, only in Sapphire and Emerald, is Seviper, a pure poison type that is fully on the offensive. Starting with the bad things, it's frail, it has okay speed, and it has pretty bad moves besides Crunch and Glare. Its TM move pool is also pretty limited, unfortunately. However, thanks to its pretty good mixed attack stats, it can fully use good TM moves like Sludge Bomb, Flamethrower, Earthquake, and even Giga Drain. It's not terrible, but it's just not a defensive poison type that's meant to tank. It's kinda just its weird own thing when it comes to poison types. Kinda like how Makuhita is with fighting types. The last new Pokemon we can get here that's only found in Emerald and Ruby for some reason is Nuzleaf, a grass dark type that can get straight to its evolution. Like before mentioned with C-Dot, Nuzleaf's line depends on Chlorophyll to be really good. Well, and for sweeping, so otherwise it does have decent moves and stats with a lot of weaknesses due to its typing of dark grass. And like Lombre, we won't have its evolutionary stone for quite a while, so it's stuck as a Nuzleaf for a long time. Overall though, I think it's a more situationally good Pokemon, but once we're able to get that stone, it can wreak some pretty good havoc with Chlorophyll. And Solrock here. It's a weird rock psychic type that can be good offensively. While its special attack is complete garbage, making stab psychic moves pointless, it can take advantage of Rock Slide and Explosion very easily thanks to its pretty decent attack stat. Through TMs as well, it can get some good moves like Shadow Ball and Earthquake. Keep in mind, Shadow Ball is physical in this generation. However, it isn't the speediest thing in the world, and it's weak to a lot of common types, namely water and grass. It also can't defend itself very easily, so it's hard to recommend it. As for its counterpart of Lunatone, only found here in Sapphire, it's a rock psychic type that is basically the counterpart entirely. It focuses more on special attack, taking advantage of Psychic Stab. However, this thing has a Gen 3 problem of learning primarily physical moves, for its only offensive special moves are either all psychic moves or Ice Beam. Like Solrock, however, its other stats are okay and it has several common weaknesses. I do think it's a little better than Solrock since it has more variety of moves and stuff, but it's still a tough pick to even just recommend. Spoink. Why? It's a pure psychic type that turns into a special attacker and special defender. It can be interesting thanks to the stab psychic and a pretty decent coverage of TMs via Shockwave and such. However, it's extremely limited and is meant to be annoying via Thief and Toxic. This is furthered by its ability of Thick Fat, making it tankier to fire and ice-type attacks. Besides that, its attack stat is garbage, and it just doesn't do much else besides use Psychic or Shockwave when it comes to offensive capabilities. It's not terrible, but there are far better Psychic types out there, and those that we've seen, such as Ralt and Abra. This will land you Lily. This thing's weird. It's slow, but a very tanky grass and rock type. Its typing is awesome because most people don't even remember what it's typed, and it's only weak to uncommon types like Ice, Fighting, Bug, and Steel. However, that's about where all the good goes for it. While it does have decent attack stats, it is pitiful at using its stab without TMs, and its learn pool is horrible. It learns a new move almost every 10 levels. I guess it can be annoying with Attract and Toxic, making it a toxic tank and just make the other Pokemon basically not do anything. but otherwise it's mostly just there for competitive situations. Along with that, it has a really high level, or evolution level, so yeah, take it with a grain of salt. As for the other fossil, of the claw fossil, you will get instead Anorith. It's something I wish I could say it's good. It's a rock bug type that is really slow but has really good physical defense and high physical attack. Its typing makes it really awkward to hit weaknesses, only it being weak to water, rock, and steel. The sad thing is that, like Lilip, its learn pool is garbage. It's a little bit better, but the best and only bug move it can get is Fury Cutter. Why? As such, it's also it's a TM hog. Well, what am I trying to say? You need TMs to make this thing good, and it can learn good moves like Brick Break, Earthquake, and Aerial Ace. Besides that, it just can't do much on its own, and it takes forever to evolve it, unfortunately. Cacnea. Pure grass type, it turns into a slow but powerful glass cannon. Thanks to its high mixed attack stats, it can take advantage of any learnable move and is great offensively. However, it is limited by certain moves, where both its stab moves at best deal 60 power minus Solar Beam. It can also be nice with Sandstorm due to its ability, but like Shiftry, it has a problem of being weak to a bunch of types. This is furthered by its slow speed with no way to increase it like Shiftry's Chlorophyll. It also does turn into a grass dark type when evolved. As such, it's more of a risky pick, but it can be good if it's used correctly, so there's that. The next one, which is actually on screen right here, is Baltoy. An incredibly defensive ground psychic type that could be a great supporter for the team. Granted, its level up pool is heavily offensive, but TM-wise it can get some pretty nice stuff like Reflect and Light Screen. It's more akin to Fortress, where it's meant to set up things like Toxic and deal some decent damage with stab moves and a failsafe of Explosion. However, it has several weaknesses that it can't take care of, and is a bit risky since it has okay speed at best. It's a good tank, but don't expect it to be dealing a bunch of damage. It's just not meant for that. It's meant to tank things and set things up. The last new Pokemon we can get here, and it's probably the most famous of the bunch, is Trapinch. This thing is awesome. A pure ground type that eventually becomes a ground dragon type. It's a very strange beast. Funnily, it becomes physically weaker when evolving into Vibrava, making it even harder to get to that final evolution. But once it is a Flygon, for one, it gets the new ability of Levitate, which the thing just becomes immune to ground type moves. And since it's a ground type, it is also immune to electric, just knocking those two out right off the gate. And in this generation, it's only quad weak to ice, which there are very few of in this game, and weak to dragon, which it can handle itself. It's decently fast, it has a good attack stat, it has decent balance stats all around. The only bad thing is that since it's Gen 3, dragon moves are all special, which makes Flygon's dragon attacks a bit weaker, since it is a physical attacker, but it still has really good access to stab of Earthquake through TMs. With a game that is heavily restrictive on dragon types and the only other option being Swablu's line, I would heavily consider this if you need a ground or a dragon type. It's Pelipper. Well, you've seen Pelipper on the LP thus far. It's a better Wingull. It's a solid water flying type that is more offensively a water user. Utility-wise, it's awesome since it can learn both Surf and eventually Fly once we get to that point. And its typing is really good, making it physically tanky. It learns some pretty decent TM moves like Ice Beam and Shockwave. I highly recommend it if you just don't have a water or a flyer yet, or both. Well, that's what's inside the egg. We have ourselves a why not? Because why not? Why not is weird. It's a completely gimmicky psychic type that has crazy HP and not much else. Its gimmick is that it likes to use counter and mirror shot to reflect attacking moves back at the target. It can also guarantee damage through Encore, and in a pinch, take out the opponent through using Destiny Bond. While it may sound appealing, the rest of its stats are just complete garbage, making it just an HP sponge. A nice ability, though, is Shadow Tag, which is useful against, well, stuff that uses Runaway, like Abra and Ralts. Otherwise, it's really just too gimmicky. While it's cool in a sense, most of the time it's just gonna get knocked out, and you have to basically know every single thing about each individual opponent to guess if you're gonna need to use Mirror Shot or Counter, so there's that. Jigglypuff. Why is this thing here? It's a strange pure normal type that's only known for its tankiness. It has a lot of HP with okay defensive stats and bad defenses and speed when evolved. It can be pretty nice with TM since it can learn a wide range of moves, but otherwise it just doesn't do much. I guess its ability of Q-Charm is nice, but there's really not much to say with this one. It's just kind of a standard normal type. And again, most normal types are basically completely outclassed when it comes to the Slack Off line because, well, Slacking's basically a pseudo-legendary. And the other Pokemon you can get here that's completely new is Swellow, a wickedly fast flying normal type that does its job extremely well. While the rest of its stats are okay, it can put in some good damage with stab, physical, normal, and flying type moves. It's also great that it keeps its ability of Guts. Otherwise, it's just a really good flyer pick in a region filled with very limited flying types, especially if you want to skip over evolving Tailo, because Tailo can be pretty difficult to evolve. Magnemite. It's a really good special attacking electric steel type. It is a monster of an electric user. It takes really nice advantage of electric stab via, well, Thunderbolt or Discharge. Its typing makes it immune to 2 types. That being, not immune to 2 types. What am I saying? It gives it an immunity to poison, 2 quad resistances, 8 resistances, and only 3 obvious weaknesses. One of them being a quad weakness, which is, well, ground. While it's okay on the speed, and it is frail, it has good physical defense that serves it very well. The only bad thing is that it's extremely limited on electric moves since any other attacking move it does learn is physical in this generation. Otherwise, it's a great pick. I highly recommend it. By extension, you can also find its evolution of Magneton, which is only found in the basement level of this place at a 1% chance. This thing is basically just nice if you want to skip raising Magnemite. It's the same things that apply to Magnemite here. It's nice, but again, I'd rather just raise it as a Magnemite so you can have more variety on its moves. Otherwise, that's about it. Another Pokemon we can find here is on screen, and that is Voltorb. It is a wickedly fast pure electric type that becomes more of a sweeper that can explode when needed. It takes decent advantage of electric moves, but otherwise it's pretty limited on it's pretty limited on moves, and it's one of the fastest Pokemon in this generation. It can provide good support through Light Screen and or just be really stupidly annoying with Double Team. If it needs to explode, it can explode and take out Pokemon with it. It's really good in those respects, but otherwise, there's not much going for it. It's decently a physical attacker for some reason. It's not bad, but like I said, it is pretty frail. It's only got 1 weakness, and it's extremely fast. That's all about it. And along with that, you can get its evolved form of Electrode here at a 1% chance. Same things you could say about Voltorb, since we just talked about Voltorb. The only thing I'll add is that you can get a nice skip of the evolution, but that's about it. Not really much to say about Electrode. Wailmer. Found earliest in Route 103, it becomes a monstrous water type when fully evolved. The classic Wailord has a crap ton of HP, and unlike most HP tanks, this thing can do some really good mixed attack damage and can naturally learn really good moves like Water Spout and Rest. As for TMs, it becomes far more varied through Ice Beam and Earthquake. The only negatives is that it is hard to raise since it has a high evolution level, and its defenses until that point are pretty bad. I will say though, you will need a Wailord for something later, so picking up one soon may save you some headaches for later. For us right now, we're going to be waiting for a more convenient route for getting Wailmer, so there you go. Corphish. Earliest found in Route 102, it's a pure water type that becomes a strong but slow glass cannon. Due to Gen 3, all of its stab moves are either screwed by its not as impressive special attack stat, or they are screwed by its special attack stat, basically. But it can get some good physical moves through TM, such as Brick Break, Sludge Bomb, and Aerial Ace. Due to its evolution into a Water Dark type, it gains a lot of extra weaknesses of Fighting and Bug. Along with that, while it's okay on the defense part, it's pretty slow and it has bad special defense. The worst part is that its natural learn pool is terrible besides learning Crab Hammer, so it's going to be a TM hog. As such, it can be nice in certain situations, but that's about it. I like Corphish, but it's kind of hard to use. Another new one we can get is Barboach, earliest found at Route 111. It's a weak water ground type that turns into a decent HP tank. It has very balanced stats, and its typing makes it only quad weak to grass, no other weaknesses, so it can be pretty good on the defensive side. It can also deal some good damage with Magnitude, but its best moves are going to be through TM, such as Surf, Ice Beam, and Earthquake. I kind of akin this to a worse Quagsire, and well, since you can't get Quagsire in this area, or in this generation, for that matter, at least in this game, I would say give it a try, especially since if you didn't pick up Mudkip. It's a very good water ground type, and if you need it for coverage, it's great for that. The last new fishing encounter you can get here, well actually it's right here, is Carvana. A water dark type, it's a far better option than Corphish's line. It bolsters a huge attack stat, good special attack, and speed. It can use whatever while still dealing good damage. Its stab moves, while they use special attack, can still deal some good damage with them, and can take advantage of really good TMs like Earthquake and Ice Beam. A noteworthy thing, though, is that it literally has no attacking water moves besides HMs. Well, it has Water Pulse, but that's the only attacking water-type move that it will ever learn. As such, it can be hard to raise because of that and additional weaknesses due to its dark typing. However, it can defend itself against those additional weaknesses through Rough Skin, which is pretty good. As such, I think it's a better Corphish when it comes to that line, when it comes to dark and water types, so there's that. Linoon. Linoon is the evolved form of Zigzagoon, and it's a pretty good skip for an HM user since it can learn more HMs. While it is fast, it's just not a great normal type, especially with the existence of Slacking and Zangoose. As such, it can be a good replacement for your Zigzagoon if you want to have better items through pickup, but otherwise, it just doesn't do anything special. I hate talking bad about it, but it doesn't really do anything better than Zangoose or Slackoff's line. It just doesn't really do much. Next up, you can find Manectric, a pure electric type that is very solid at its job. Fast and takes advantage of good special attack with electric moves, it does everything an electric type needs to do. Unfortunately, it is extremely limited and frail, but the one good job it does, it's amazing at. Plus, you get to skip Electric's evolution. Just make sure to get one with static because Lightning Rod is completely pointless. And the last new Pokemon you can get here is Kecleon, a 1% normal type, which actually we can get a static encounter for later. This is just the earliest you can find this thing. It is weird. For one, it has a ridiculously high special defense stat with decent attack. Otherwise, it's just slow with okay other stats. And second, its gimmick is through its ability of color change, which changes its typing depending on what it's hit by. Situationally, this can be good since it can essentially change its stab moves whenever you wish. As such, it can weirdly learn a ton of coveted moves through TMs, notably Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Brick Break, Flamethrower, Aerial Ace, Dig. It can learn a lot of good things. If anything, it can be a fun trick to use in double battle since you can dictate what type it turns into, but otherwise, it's just kind of a huge gimmick with a terrible level up pool. That's about it. Tropius. It's a slow but good HP stat grass flying type. It's a really weird one. It learns some naturally good grass moves like Magical Leaf and Solar Beam, but the only flying move it naturally learns is Gust. Otherwise for TMs, it can get Aerial Ace and for some reason Earthquake. Due to it being slow, it's just another grass type that needs to use Chlorophyll active to be usable. However, unlike Shiftry and Cacturn, Tropius isn't much of an offensive sweeper. Along with its several weaknesses and quad weakness to ice, it can be really hard to use as a result. It has no evolution, there's really just not much going for it, unfortunately. Feebas. This one's a bit loaded, for it can only be found by fishing in one of 6 water tiles that it can spawn on. And yes, I'm talking about the entirety of the water tiles here. This isn't Oris where you can just fish underneath a bridge. No, it's one of these 6 water tiles entirely. Along with that, the locations of these tiles change each day, and it's only a 50% chance of it even appearing, making it possible to completely skip over the tiles that it can appear on for that day. As such, it is a grind to get, but if you do get it, it can turn into one of the best water types in the game. It becomes a really good special attacking water type that can do some really good coverage through Ice Beam. It also gains the ability of Marvel Scale, which is a defensive version of Guts. However, I will say that evolving it is a pain, and it can be screwed up very easily because it depends on building the beauty stat, which we really haven't seen, and we can't even do anything about that just yet until we hit a future town. Besides that, it is a challenge with an amazing payoff if you can get it. Just good luck at getting it. Cast Form. It's a strangely unique normal type that turns into different forms depending on the weather. It has 3 forms depending on the weather and changes its typing to the associated weather. For example, Sunshine turns it into the sunny form and makes it a pure fire type. Rain gives it its rainy form and turns into a water type. And Hail turns it into an ice type and turns it into its snowy form. Thankfully, you can learn several moves to take advantage of those forms through TMs, namely Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and Water Pulse. However, this makes a learned move Weather Ball amazing, since it also changes with Cast Form, giving it a permanent stab through Weather Ball. However, its stats are extremely balanced, and it's pretty mediocre at best. As for design things, I'm gonna make it cursed. This thing has boobs. Mightyena here. It's a pure dark type that is an okay physical attacker. Unfortunately, due to Gen 3, it loses any good stab from dark moves due to dark being a stab, due to dark being a friggin' special attacking move. Jesus. Along with that, it doesn't naturally learn anything great besides Crunch at level 47. So you're stuck with its limited move pool of Shadow Ball, limited TM pool, I should say, of Shadow Ball, Dig, and Iron Tail, I guess. The only good thing is its Intimidate ability, but at this point in the game, it falls off especially hard, thanks to the fact that there's even a better Dark type that's literally available here now. Dark types just kind of have a bad rap. There's really not much they can do. And the last new Pokemon we can get here is Absol. Told you we were going to find this thing pretty quickly. Absol is a really nice Dark type. It's a highest attack stat Dark type Pokemon that could be the bringer of disasters if used correctly. Like Mightyena, it does suffer from a lack of stab moves and learns even worse Dark moves than Mightyena. However, this thing naturally can get Sword Stance and Double Team, making it an evasion glass cannon that can cover itself through Shadow Ball or do heavy critical damage with Slash. While the rest of its stats are decent, Absol can absolutely destroy everything in its path if it has Sword Stance up. It's awesome, and Dark is pretty awkward to deal with because it's only weak to, well, fighting and, well, Fairy doesn't exist yet, so pretty much it's just Bug and fighting. It's awesome. Shuppet. Despite being notoriously a bad ghost type, it's actually pretty good in this game. Thanks to it being Gen 3 and ghost types being physical in this generation, it can take a pretty good advantage of its eventual high attack stat while using annoying moves like Will-O-Wisp and Snatch. However, it's extremely limited on physical moves, and it has okay stats overall minus its attack stat. Along with this, there are just better ghost types here in the near future, and even right here, depending on the version. I don't recommend it too much, especially since it has a high evolution level once it evolves into Banette, but it's not bad. It's just kind of outclassed by other things. And speaking of getting outclassed, the next Pokemon here, only in Ruby, is Duskull, a super tanky pure ghost type that evolves into an even better tank with some attacking power. Again, only found in Ruby for right now here. It eventually takes advantage of Ghost-type stab moves such as Shadow Punch and Shadow Ball. It also can learn some weird coverage moves like Ice Beam and Psychic. The beauty of this thing, however, derives from its ability to learn Will-O-Wisp, which can have the opponent's physical attack stat and burning them, making Duskull even more tanky. Slap on Future Sight or Confuse Ray, and you have something quite annoying for them to deal with. The only bad thing is that it does have frailty in its HP stat, and it has a really high evolution level, but besides that, it's really good. And don't worry, Emerald players, we will be able to get this soon, just not right now. The last new Pokemon you can get just in this route is Gloom, a grass poison type that has a decent stereotypical grass type. It's only found in the wild here in Emerald for some reason. While poison is physical in this gen, it can still take advantage of powder moves and chlorophyll sunny day strats. As such, I do recommend going down the Vileplume line for more offense, since Blossom foregoes the poison typing and makes it more balanced. It's a good pick if you don't want to deal with Oddish, pretty much. Vulpix. A very speedy and specially defensive fire type, it's mostly a balanced fire type. Like many of the Stone Evolution Pokemon, it stops learning new moves except for Fire Spin for some reason, so make sure to at least get Vulpix to level 29 for Flamethrower before evolving it. Otherwise, it's your choice if you want to evolve it after that. Its gimmick is to set up burns through Will-O-Wisp, confuse the target via Confuse Ray, then set up Sunny Day and burn through targets with Flamethrower or even Overheat. It's a lot of setup that many other fire types just don't need, but Vulpix can be good if you are patient with it. Besides that, there are just better fire types we've had access to, like Numble, for example, but it's an interesting choice if you want something different. As for other versions, except for Emerald, this is completely unattainable in Emerald, is Metatite. It's a very unique fighting psychic type that doesn't have a lot going for it. Thanks to its very balanced stats, it can kind of just use whatever it wants, and it has the elemental punch moves via the move relearner. Its natural learn pool, besides high jump kick, it's just meh. But its TM pool is pretty good, actually. It can learn Shadow Ball, Psychic, Brick Break. It's pretty good. It becomes even better thanks to its ability of Pure Power, which arbitrarily doubles its attack stat. So it can be a pretty decent attacker with good coverage moves, but that's about it. I guess it's nice that it's only weak to Flying and Ghost, but there's really not much to say about it. It's kind of just a mediocre fighting type that has a psychic typing that it can't do anything with. Chimecho. It's a pure psychic type that tries to be a special tank and cannon. It has extreme limitations on what it can learn naturally, unfortunately, but it can get some decent coverage through Shockwave, I guess. It's pretty all over the place when it comes to its attacks and stats, so there's just really no telling what this thing's role is supposed to be. In a region where there are just overpowered psychic types like Alakazam and Gardevoir, this thing kind of just sucks, and I hate to say that about it, but it just does. Graveler. It's a rock ground type that can deal some pretty heavy damage while tanking a ton. Much of what I said about Geodude can be said about this thing as well. It can be good, but it has a slew of weaknesses and 2 quad weaknesses that are very common in this generation. Along with that, it's stuck at being a Graveler for its entirety of its lifetime, unless if you trade. So, unless if you can trade, I wouldn't really suggest it. Just make sure you get the ability of Rockhead if you're going to use this thing, because Sturdy is completely pointless. Fanpy. It's a pure ground type that turns into a solid physical tank and cannon. It can do a lot of good damage and thanks to Stab Earthquake, and learns a lot of good coverage moves like Rollout or even through TM's Iron Tail. Some problems arise for this, however. First is that it is extremely limited in its entire move pool, both natural and TM wise. As such, you'll likely only use Earthquake and Iron Tail on it. Second, it is very slow and does not have great special defense. And lastly, it is completely stuck with the ability of Sturdy when evolved, which is completely useless in this generation. As such, it's solid, but it has several severe downsides that are missing with other ground types. Next up in that same area is Natu. It's a unique psychic flying type that can't really do much. Since it's Gen 3, there's no chance of it using stab flying for its special attack stat, so it's kind of just getting screwed already by not being able to use that stat at all for flying type moves. Besides that, its learn pool is extremely limited. It only has one attacking move of Peck until it gets psychic at level freaking 65. Why? It can learn some good coverage moves at least, like Giga Drain and Thief, but besides that, it's mostly just decently speedy and really nothing else to say stat-wise. Personally, it's just kind of an unnecessary flying type since Psychic doesn't do much for it, and it arbitrarily adds extra weaknesses of Ghost and Dark, unfortunately. It can be good, but it's just really hard to raise, and there's better flying types that we've seen already. Jesus, by extension, we can also get Exatu. Same thing said with Natu, it's just evolved. If you want to skip the evolution of Natu, there you go. More interestingly though, you can also get Heracross there. Heracross is dumb. It's an extremely physically strong bug fighting type that holds its own very well. It learns really good moves like Brick Break and eventually Mega Horn, and through TMs it can learn frickin' Earthquake. Along with that, it's only weak to only weak to 3 typings. One of them just being a quad weakness to flying, and has great coverage thanks to its typing. If you go for this, make sure it has Guts. It further jacks up its attack stat when paralyzed or poisoned. I highly recommend this thing if you need an attacker. It's amazing for that. Rhyhorn there. It's a sturdy rock and ground type that's very limited by its attack stat. Like Phanpy's line, it's extremely solid as a physical attacker and tank and takes advantage of natural Earthquake. Unlike Phanpy's line, however, it does gain far more moves through TMs such as Rock Tomb. Problems arise from the rest of its TMs though. For some reason, it learns special moves like Ice Beam and Thunderbolt. Why? I don't know. They would do nice if it didn't have such a bad special attack stat. It also is extremely slow and it has terrible special defense, adding to the fact that it's 2 quad weaknesses and it has 4 other weaknesses. If you get this, make sure to get Rockhead since Lightning Rod is completely pointless unless if you're bringing it into double battles. It's hard to raise, but it can be good in the right use case, I guess. Another one you can get here is Doduo, a stupidly fast normal flying type with a good physical attack stat. It's very solid for a flyer. Thanks to Gen 3, all flying type moves are physical, so it takes complete advantage of Drill Peck, Slap on Return, and it can deal some really good damage thanks to normal stab. While it is frail, it usually outspeeds the competition and can do some solid hits as a result. The only bad thing is the lack of coverage moves besides Steel Wing through TMs, but otherwise it's a great Pokemon. Just tell me how the hell this thing can use Fly? Seriously? It has no wings! By extension, you can also get Dodrio. It's nice if you want to get the skip on the evolution. Same things as before, just it's better Doduo. And the last Pokemon you can find in that specific area is Pinsir, a physical bug-type powerhouse that can't take advantage of anything. For some ungodly reason, this thing literally can't learn a bug move unless if you somehow teach it Fury Cutter from a tutor. Otherwise, it's stuck to normal and fighting moves naturally while learning decent coverage TMs like Earthquake. It does have some good defense and great attack and alright stats everywhere else besides special attack, but it just can't take advantage of much due to its crappy move pool. It makes less sense that its counterpart Heracross naturally gets a bug move, but this doesn't. Along with that, its ability is just not as advantageous as Heracross's is. As such, I feel like it's just a worse Heracross. Now talking about the southwest area, you can start getting Girafarig there. it's a really weird and unique normal psychic type that follows a balanced playstyle. While it's slightly a good special attacker, its stats are extremely balanced and naturally learns decent moves like Psybeam and Crunch, although it's extremely later down in the levels. It also learns a wide range of TMs thanks to it being a psychic type, such as Thunderbolt, Earthquake, and Shadow Ball. However, it can also learn Baton Pass for some reason naturally, and can learn the screen moves through TMs, which can make it a good setupper and support Pokemon. Besides that, it's just okay, and it's likely just gonna fall off soon, especially at this point in the game. If you don't want to deal with that why not egg, why not get Wobbuffet here? It's a gimmicky and chunky pure psychic type. Much of what I said about why not holds true here, but for a recap, its gimmick is to tank damage and reflect it back by using counter or mirror shot. It can guarantee the reflection by using Encore and, in a pinch, take itself out with its opponent through Destiny Bond. As such, it is highly gimmicky, so its use cases vary depending if you like that playstyle. Otherwise, it's amazing when it comes to roaming Pokemon or Pokemon that like to run away, since it has the ability of Shadow Tag. And a Pokemon that we just recently caught here, Pikachu. It's a run-of-the-mill pure electric type that can be pretty good depending on how you raise it. For one, it learns pretty good electric moves like Thunderbolt and Thunder naturally. Keep in mind that once evolving into a Raichu, it stops learning level-up moves, so be careful about that. It can also get some pretty good coverage through TMs such as Brick Break and Iron Tail. It's extremely frail until it evolves, but it is fast. Now, for how I would raise this thing if you're going to use it. The wild Pikachus here have a 5% chance of holding the Light Ball. This will increase Pikachu's, and only Pikachu, not Raichu. It will double their special attack stat, making it a better special attacker than Raichu at that point. However, there is more. If you breed a Pikachu while it's holding a Light Ball, the Egg Pichu will come with the exclusive move of Volt Tackle, a 120 power electric move that deals recoil damage. This is stupidly powerful on Pikachu due to Stab and the addition of the Light Ball. While maybe a bit much than just getting a Manectric or simply using a Raichu, a Light Ball Volt Tacking Pikachu can wreak havoc if you want something different and just want to be Ash. Just be aware that it's always going to be frail, so don't expect to be tanking anything with it. As such, I do recommend it if you want to have a different experience with electric types. And the last Pokemon you can get there is Psyduck. Found by surfing, it's strangely a balanced water type that becomes even more balanced by a slightly good special attack stat. It can deal some good damage through Surf and through TMs learn Ice Beam. However, it naturally can only get the offensive water move of Hydro Pump for some reason at a high level. A coveted ability of this thing, however, is Cloud 9 when it evolves, which prevents additional changes due to the weather. As such, it's not bad, but it's not a Pokemon that really stands out from the mold. And the last new Pokemon you can get in the entirety of the Safari Zone at this point is Golduck. It's found in the same places. It's the same thing I just said about Psyduck. It's just, if you want to skip its evolution, there you go. Sharpedo. It can also be found here if you want to go and get it. It's a very strong physical water dark type. As same with Carvanha, it can hit hard with with other moves, but due to Gen 3, it can't take advantage of physical stab. It's a really good pick if you don't want to deal with evolving Carvanha, and it's actually pretty fast as well. It learns some pretty decent stuff, but again, water dark types, literally not physical. It wouldn't get any benefits from those typings until Gen 4. So right now it's kind of just a worse version of what it becomes, but its ability of Rough Skin makes it very nice in double fights or anything like that if you want chip damage on stuff that attacks you, but besides that, it's not bad. I like it a lot. Next up is Seaking. It's pretty much found in a lot of water routes. It's one of those common water Pokemon. It's a physical water type attacker that just can't do much. For one, it can't take good advantage of its physical attack, so it's stuck doing with okay damage with special moves. And for two, the only good water move it can even learn is Surf. Unless if you want to wait till level 41 for Waterfall. As such, it's mediocre at best, and there's just far better water types out there, especially now that we have the Super Rod. And the last new Pokemon we can go and grab here is Staryu. Earliest found in Lily Cove City via the Super Rod, it is an amazing water type if you can evolve it. If you can evolve it, it becomes a very strong and fast water psychic type that is extremely unpredictable. While it can take great advantage of Surf and Psychic since it is a special attacker, it learns a ton of other moves thanks to it being a Psychic type. Like freaking Thunderbolt and Ice Beam for some reason. I believe it can also learn Flamethrower, which is really stupid. Thanks to its power and speed, it can easily be a sweeper that not a ton of opponents can deal with. The only bad thing is the difficulty of getting a Water Stone. We will be able to get the shards for it soon, but it's really annoying to go and get this thing evolved in this specific game. As for any other notes, make sure it doesn't have the ability of Illuminate, for it literally does nothing but increase encounter rates. Make sure it has Natural Cure if you want to have something useful on it. Chinchou. It's a high HP electric water type that's very unique. It can be nice in pretty certain situations thanks to its typing. Its typing gives it great stab with Surf and Thunderbolt, both of which needs TMs and HMs for, unfortunately. But it has really good coverage through Ice Beam via TMs. The bad thing is that its stats are kind of meh with really bad defense, or it has bad defense and okay other stats. So it's not going to be doing a bunch of damage compared to mainline electric types or water types, but its typing makes it very unique. The other bad thing with its typing too, it makes it weak to ground. So there is that. Besides that, I really like Chinchou. I like how unique it is. I like its unique typing. Make sure, if you're going to get this thing, get it with Volt Absorb. It can get the ability of Illuminate. Illuminate's a terrible ability. It just increases the encounter rate of Pokemon. Just don't get that with that. Another new Pokemon that we can go and find is literally on screen, and that is Clamperl. It's a split evolution water type that doesn't really matter. That doesn't matter if you can't trade. It literally can't learn anything through level up moves, and the best water moves it can learn are HM moves. Along with that, its only coverage this thing can get is through TMs is Ice Beam. As such, it really sucks. I'm not a fan of it. But if you can't trade, its evolution into Huntail becomes a mixed attacker with good physical defense and learns pretty decent moves. While its other evolution of Gorbis puts more emphasis on special attack and learns weird coverage psychic moves and Ice Beam through TMs. However, to even get the evolutionary item, it requires a lengthy quest that we'll be doing later. As such, it's not great. Its evolutions are hard to get, and by itself it's kind of awkward, but it can be interesting if you put an Eviolite on it for the added defense. Besides that, I'm not too much of a fan of this thing, especially if you can't trade it. The last new Pokemon you can get while underwater, and one that I'm personally looking for, is Relicanth. It's a really strange physical wall that has good HP and physical attack. It's a water rock type that, in the right situations, can deal some good damage. Thanks to its typing, however, it's weak to 4 types permanently, one of them being a quad weakness to grass. Another caveat is that it is really slow and it has okay special defense, so it's not going to be going first in the fight. I guess it's interesting and can be dangerous, but otherwise, it's just here, kind of. There's really not much of a point of Relicanth. Spheal. This little round dude is awesome. I love him. For one, it's a water ice type that becomes a really tanky special attacker. Most of its coveted moves will be through TMs, such as Ice Beam and, well, Surf. But it can learn some really weird and good coverage moves through TMs, such as Earthquake and Iron Tail. The beautiful thing about this thing is if it's out during hail, its ability of Ice Body will heal it every single turn, kind of like how Rain Dish is for Ludicolo. It's a really solid ice type, especially since there's so few in the game. This is one of 2 that exist, at least for normal Pokemon. So, if you need an ice type, this thing is probably the best one you'll ever get. It's awesome. And in general, throughout the main cave, is Golbat. It's a Zubat skip that I really would just deter you from ever getting. Why is that? Well, here's the thing. Golbat relies on happiness to evolve into Crobat, and you would get far more happiness points if you were just to level up and evolve a Zubat. So I really don't recommend you go out of your way to get a Golbat just to skip Zubat's line, because you're going to end up waiting longer to get a Crobat that way. I would suggest just getting a Zubat at that point if you're going to use Crobat. Snorunt. Snorunt is a pure ice type that just sucks. I'm sorry, it's terrible. It has permanently balanced stats even as a Glalie. It can't take advantage of anything other than Stab Ice Beam. I guess it's nice that it naturally learns Ice Beam, but its stats are so mediocre that there's just nothing you can do with this thing, unfortunately. That's the other thing that really sucks with it as well. It is the only other ice type in the entire game that's not a legendary. With how annoying it is to find because you have to go here at a specific time, and just how easy it is to find Spheal, it's just not good. I'm sorry, I don't recommend it. It doesn't have its other evolution until Gen 4. I really don't recommend this thing. Tentacruel. It's a pretty nice skip of Tentacruel's line. It's a solid poison water type that can be a really good tank. Its typing makes it really awkward to deal with since it gives it a neutrality to grass. Poison's really good defensively, and its mixed attack lets it use kind of whatever it wants. As such, it's a really good water type and a very good skip to Tentacool if you just don't want to deal with raising it. Along with that, it could get the ability of Clear Body, which is amazing because, well, you don't have to worry about stat reductions. Corsola. No. It's a water rock type that's only known for being tanky. It learns garbage moves, it's a horrible attacker, it's really slow. I have no redeeming qualities for this thing, and I know I rag on a lot of Pokemon, but this thing just straight up sucks. It has literally nothing going for it, and I feel bad, but at the same time, there's not much I can say about it. It just sucks. Now for something more interesting. Let's talk about Love Disc, only found by the Super Rod when fishing for encounters here. For one, God, no. It's a pure water type that I have nothing to say specifically. What I am going to do is I'm just going to let a quote from the official Diamond and Pearl Smogon overview to explain this thing. Ahem. In quotes, we'll take a generic water type, give it crummy stats everywhere except for speed, give him a trait that doubles his speed in the rain, and the option to use agility, and call it a day. Love Disc is great if you're playing in battle timeout because its mere presence should cause your opponent to laugh at it for so long that you will win the match. End quote. As for my personal notes, it does nothing that helps you. This is basically the water type version of Sunkern. It is garbage, there is no redeeming qualities for it whatsoever, and its existence is just sad. I'm sorry. Gyarados. It's a physical monster of a water flying type that can wreak some good havoc. While it can't really use water type moves all that well due to water being purely special in this game, it still has really good coverage through stuff like Earthquake, which we recently just got, and it can hold its own very well thanks to that. Along with this, for whatever reason, it can be found here from a level range of level 5 to level 45. So if you want to have a level 5 Gyarados, there you go. It's also a really good pick if you just don't want to deal with Magikarp, which, honestly, I understand. Whale Lord. Holy health, Batman. It's a 1% chance to find this thing. I think it's just out in the water, but I'll put on screen if it is. This thing is chunky. It has a huge health stat, it has really good mixed attack stats, and it weirdly learns really good coverage moves like Ice Beam and Earthquake through TMs, and can take a great advantage through Surf. The only bad thing is that it has bad defenses, but its gigantic HP more than makes up for it. It is ridiculous. If you want to get a Wailord and just skip the whole Wailmer thing, test your luck at getting a Wailord here. It's up to you. Horsey. Yeah, remember that guy that was trying to trade us a Horsey last episode? Yeah, you could literally just catch one right outside of town. It's a pure water type that eventually turns into a really good water dragon type. It unfortunately doesn't really get much time to shine in this game since it shows up so late. It is extremely balanced once fully evolved, and it has good stats all around, letting it take advantage of Surf and through TM's Ice Beam. As a dragon though, its best dragon move it gets is Twister without resorting to egg moves. Along with that, this thing's full capabilities are locked behind its trait evolution, along with the fact that the dragon scale is only obtained in this game by stealing it from wild horsies. As such, unless if you put in the work, I just wouldn't recommend it due to how difficult it is to raise. Despite it being one of the very few dragon-type Pokemon that you could potentially have, there's easier ones out there to get, to be honest with you. Claydol. It's a fully ground psychic type that is weirdly offensive. It tries to be similar to Fortress in that it's built to set up and explode when needed. However, it primarily learns attacking moves and has a wide range of attacks through TMs, such as Ice Beam, Earthquake, Sunny Day, Solar Beam, and Shadow Ball even. It has decently unpredictable it can have a pretty unpredictable move set if raised correctly. But otherwise, it's just kinda here. The bad things with it are that it is slightly frail and it has okay speed, so it can be hard to keep alive, but besides that, if you just want to skip Baltoy's line, Claydol's here for you. And plus it has a nice ability of a Levitate, so it doesn't have to worry about Earthquake. That's about it. Another new Pokemon we can get here is Bayonet, a good physical attacking ghost type. Generation 3 really favors this thing. While its other stats are meh at best, it takes a really good advantage of Shadow Ball since it's physical in this generation. Besides that, Will-O-Wisp, however, it's not doing much else besides being annoying. Its only other attacking moves are all special, so you're realistically only ever going to be using Ghost-type moves for max damage. As such, with its competition being Dusclops, I just wouldn't grab this thing unless if you want to have a challenge or you want to skip Shuppet's evolution. Another new Pokemon you can get here is Altaria. It's a tanky flying dragon type that breaks the mold on the overpowered dragon types. It takes more of a defensive stance, giving it reasonable use of Dragon Dance and pairs very nicely with Dragon Breath. It also gains a wide variety of moves through TM such as Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and Earthquake. As a dragon type, however, it only learns the one dragon move of Dragon Breath, unless if you count Dragon Dance. Besides that, it has several resistances with really coverable weaknesses. If you need a way to deal with dragons, this thing's great, especially if you don't want to be overpowered. And the last new Pokemon you can get here is Dusclops, only found in Ruby version. It's a very tanky ghost type that can hold its own. While you could have gotten its pre-evolution of Duskull earlier, it's still not a bad pick to get it here. It can learn some pretty good coverage moves, but it's mostly a tank that's meant to be annoying with Confuse Ray and Will-O-Wisp. As such, many fights with it will be slow, but it's great at what it does. The only downsides is that it has really low HP and it's painfully slow. Besides that, it's a very good ghost type in a region where ghost types are extremely limited. Your only other options are like, Chimecho and Bayonet. Like, not a lot of options. Regirock is a wickedly defensive pure rock type that is slow but hits like a truck. Gen 3 favors this thing a ton due to rock moves being all physical, taking good advantage of really good moves like Ancient Power. It weirdly gets a decent variety of moves through TM such as Brick Break and for some reason Thunderbolt. While slow, it also takes advantage of Curse and Iron Defense, becoming an ultimate tank that is really hard to get rid of. Along with this, it has the really good ability of Clear Body, making it impossible to debuff. As such, this thing is a monster of a wall that can deal hard-hitting damage back. It is insanely defensive. Regice. A pure ice type that is the complete special version of Regirock. It has a wickedly high special defense with good defense and high special attack. This makes it a god at using ice moves like Ice Beam and Blizzard, which it sadly can only get through TMs. Like Regirock, it also gains a weird coverage through TMs such as Thunderbolt and Brick Break. And again, like Regirock, it can buff itself endlessly with Amnesia and Curse and can never be debuffed thanks to Clear Body. The only bad thing is that it is slow and it has bad physical attack. However, due to it being an ice type, it is amazing for offense, especially against future dragon types. It's awesome. Registeel. A pure steel type that is the defensive best of both of its brothers. Wickedly high defense, wickedly high special defense. It is stupidly hard to kill this thing. While it can't get any offensive steel moves besides Metal Claw, it has a strange TM variety like the other two, learning Thunderbolt and Earthquake for some reason. Keep in mind though that this thing is not an attacker. It is a beautiful toxic staller, however, setting up with Amnesia and Curse, then just sitting there and chipping away at the enemy's health until it or the toxic kills. It is slow and it's not great as an attacker, but its typing gives it 9 hull resistances and an immunity to poison. Along with this, it can't be debuffed thanks to its sharing of Clear Body with its other two brothers. This thing is basically the definition of a toxic staller. If you thought Fortress was good, Registeel will outbeat that thing any day. Rayquaza is a crazily offensive dragon flying type that wreaks havoc. It is equally powerful defenses allow it to use anything it wants, such as Stab Outrage or even Dragon Dance to buff itself further. TM-wise, it also learns a huge range of moves such as Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Earthquake, Brick Break, Flamethrower, Solar Beam. While not tanky, its other stats don't drop below 90, which is insane for this thing's offenses. Along with that, its another amazing attribute is its ability of Airlock, which negates weather effects. The only thing to worry about is its quad weakness to ice, but since it's such a high level here, it does not matter. He will easily one-shot the rest of the game here. And Whiscash. It's a solid water ground type that does its job decently well. While it's mainly known for its high HP, its mixed attacking stats let it take advantage of pretty good stab, waterman, ground type moves. And for some reason, it can also learn Ice Beam through TMs, so it can be a pretty good way to deal with dragons as well. While I would say this thing is normally bad since it doesn't really have much going for it, the only competition this thing has in this generation is Swampert. So if you didn't choose Mudkip, then this is a good alternative. As such, it tries to be a Quagsire for this generation, but it's not as good as Quagsire, unfortunately. The only good thing about that is that you can't really get Wooper in this game, at least not in the post game, so there's that. Whiscash is good, but there's a competition that it does get kind of behind on. And the last new Pokemon, and it's actually a completely new Pokemon, only on this little piece of land that you see me standing on right now, you can find Bagon here. It is a pure dragon type that becomes arguably the best dragon flying non-legendary Pokemon in the series thus far. It eventually gets crazy high attack, crazily high special attack, high speed, and high HP. It's basically a mini Rayquaza. Despite Gen 3 screwing itself out of physical stab with Dragon-type moves, this thing just does not care. TMs let this thing... okay, for TMs, this thing can learn Flamethrower, Earthquake, Iron Tail, even Brick Break, and Steel Wing. And thanks to Dragon Claw being right here, it can take really good advantage of that. Although, I would just use the TM. It does learn it at level 79, so just use the TM. The icing on the cake is that when it's fully evolved, it gets Intimidate for its ability, which is nuts. To keep in mind of how OP this thing was, it was so broken to the point where it was banned in competitive for a long time. As such, if you can raise it and you fully evolve it, it will annihilate everything in its path. If you don't want to just catch Rayquaza to do that, and want to do it in more legitimate ways, Bagon is the way to go. Hariyama! And you've seen how powerful freaking Hariyama has been. It's a beefy, pure fighting type that does its job exceedingly well. While it's not varied in movesets or anything like that, it hits hard, and it can be really annoying with Fake Out. Strangely, this thing's easier to catch than Makuhita. It has a higher catch rate in this place than Makuhita does. And funny enough, it actually pops up more often than Makuhita does as well. It has a higher encounter rate. Since we're at the end of the game though, it's not as helpful than before. It still puts in the work when needed, don't get me wrong, but it's a bit too late if you're thinking about using a Hariyama on your team, because we could have had Makuhita way back in Dewford. So, that's about it. Just make sure you get the ability of Guts on it, because Thick Fat's kind of just pointless. Another new Pokemon we can get here that we saw previously is Loudred. A pure normal type. Why? Okay, here's the thing. It quickly becomes a chunky mixed attacker with really not much to do. It can get some good variety through TMs. There's just better normal types that we've had for so long at this point. Along with that, Slacking exists, which has been the bane of all normal types' existence. So it gets trumped pretty easily. It's not horrible, and it can be really nice with the move of Return. And plus, it has a very easy evolution level since it evolves at level 40 and you can catch them at level 40 here. I just wouldn't suggest grabbing this thing, because we could have had a Whismur a long time ago, and, well, Slacking exists. Another new Pokemon we can get here that I actually really like is Lairon. It's a wall of a Steel Rock type. It's great if you need a tank this late in the game, and it evolves pretty soon, giving it a really high physical defense stat. While it can learn a lot of TMs for some reason, you'll mostly be using it with Metal Claw / Iron Tail and Brick Break. Along with that, some of its bad parts are that it has 2 quad weaknesses, although both of them are physical in this generation, so it kind of works out. Along with that, it's extremely slow, and it has okay special defense and HP, so don't set it up against a water type. Otherwise, it's a great pick if you need a 6th member. It's not bad at all. You just could have had it a long time ago if you grabbed Aeron from, well, freaking Dewford. And the last new Pokemon you can get here is Medicham, only found in Ruby and Sapphire on the lower floors of Victory Road. It's a decent fighting psychic type that can deal some pretty good damage. Its pure power ability doubles its attack stat, which does make it a good physical attacker. However, since it's Gen 3, it can't take advantage of naturally learned elemental punch moves or anything like that. As such, it's limited, and it kind of just has bad typing. It can get some good TMs though, like Shadow Ball, but besides that, you're not going to be able to use it well as a fighting type. It really is a bad fighting type. It's a physical psychic type that tries to be a punching bag, and really, it just doesn't really do much. Latios, if you chose blue on the television program, will be a roaming legendary. It is a very speedy, specially defensive, and specially offensive dragon psychic type that is borderline overpowered. It has a unique typing that lets it take advantage of Stab Dragon Breath and its signature move of Luster Purge, a 70 power psychic move that has a 50% chance of lowering the opponent's special defense. Thanks to its typing, it can use a wide range of moves like Ice Beam and Thunderbolt, making him more unpredictably ruthless. Adding to its Levitate ability, there's not a ton that can stop him. And if you get his unique held item of the Soul Dew, which unfortunately is only through a mystery event in this game, it will raise his special defense and offense by 50%. As such, he was, and very well still is, very well known as a competitive monster. If you chose red instead, you would find his sister of Latias. She can still be pretty good despite her not being as overpowered as her overpowered brother. Like her brother, she has a unique typing that is really hard to deal with and gives stab to extremely good moves. She has the exclusive move of Mist Ball as well, which is just Luster Purge but has a 50% chance to lower the opponent's special attack. She also takes more of a support role, learning moves like Recover, Charm, and Refresh. Along with this, like Latios, she can take advantage of that Soul Dew if you get your hands on it. Besides that, Latias isn't as wickedly overpowered as her brother, but she can still hold her own very well. Ditto. It's an extremely gimmicky normal type that can become literally anything you want it to be. It only knows the move Transform, but that Transform will allow it to turn into any Pokemon of your choosing as long as it's on the opposite side of the field. The problem with it is that it kind of relies on what Pokemon the opponent has for it to even be useful, so it's not much of a good competitive Pokemon or anything like that. However, it is the king when it comes to breeding Pokemon. Since it can turn into anything, you can breed any Pokemon with it that has an egg group attached to it. So, if you need to breed a bunch of Pokemon, or need to breed different kinds of Pokemon for shiny hunting reasons or whatever, there you go. Ditto is perfect for that. Apom. It's a normal type that doesn't do much. As such, it's mostly just an all-around physical attacker, I guess. There's really not much I can really say about this thing. Since it has no evolution in this generation, it's really just stuck being a mediocre normal type, and it doesn't really learn anything that can do anything good. As such, especially since it's competing with fricking Slacking of all things, there's really just nothing I can say that's good about this thing. However, it can have the ability of pickup, but we've had access to Zigzagoon since the beginning of the game, so what would be the point of that? I don't know. Another new Pokemon we can get is Teddiursa. It becomes a physically powerful normal type that is a force to be reckoned with. While slow with okay defenses, it does have a decent HP stat that can take a really good advantage of, well, return. Besides that, yeah, it can learn some good variety of moves like Brick Break and Earthquake, but completely honest with you though, it shows up too late to really ever be useful for anybody on the journey. Along with that, you're competing with Slacking. And Slacking has been accessible since, well, forever at this point. So I don't really suggest it simply because, well, we've had a better option for a very long time. I guess it's nice since it always comes with the ability to pick up, but again, we've had access to Zigzagoon since the beginning of the game. Another new Pokemon we can get is Lediba. No! Strangely, it becomes a specially defensive tank. It is a horrible attacker, though. It has horrible attacking power that has nothing to show for it. It literally can't learn a bug-type move, and only learns one flying-type move through TMs, that being Aerial Ace. It just doesn't do anybody any favors, and I hate talking crap about it because I actually kind of like its evolution, but yeah, no, this thing just sucks. I'm sorry, it's terrible. And another new Pokemon we can get there is Sunkern. Hell no! It is a pure grass type that is literally the worst Pokemon of all time because it has the worst stats of all time. It literally does not have a stat over 30 and learns garbage moves as a result. While its evolution is far better with a usable special attack stat, it's just not worth the headache. There's far better grass types out here that we've had access to. And we've had access to way better grass types since the beginning of the game via frickin' Lotad. As such, just don't use this thing. It's basically just the original frickin' love disc of all things. I have nothing really good to say about it, and I apologize. Another new Pokemon we can get there is Hoothoot. It's a gimmicky normal flying type that becomes a strange special tank for some reason. Its gimmick is to confuse and put its opponents to sleep, then spam buffing moves and Dream Eater. Besides that, it has a really bad physical defense and offense, also Heracross, hello, screwing it out of any stab potential. With other flyers existing before it, like Swellow or even Skarmory for that matter, I don't really see a point to getting this thing, to be honest with you. I don't really see why you would ever want it besides Dex completion. Another new Pokemon over there, I apologize, there's a lot of new Pokemon, is Pineco. It's a tanky bug type that turns into the notorious wall that is Fortress. It is kind of weird. It only has the one weakness of fire, making it an ideal tank to Toxic Stall with. It can set up hazards, it can be a really good support, it can protect itself via Protect. It can be a pretty friggin' good wall. Problem with it, it literally can't learn any stab move, unless if you do egg stuff. Yeah. It can take a decent advantage of Earthquake, but besides that, it's not meant to be an attacker. It is absolutely meant to be a wall. And, hi Pineco. It is meant to be a wall, and, well, it's a very good wall, but terrible attacker. The next Pokemon we can get up there, I thought was going to be the last one. Oh god, hi Sunkern. Is Houndour. This is a really, really good fire dark type that in this generation highly favors. If it it would favor it if it showed up in the main game at least. Thanks to Gen 3, it takes full advantage of a high special attack stab via Flamethrower and Crunch. It can also weirdly learn Solar Beam through TMs, but another star TM is Overheat. It becomes a great mixed attacker when evolved, giving it more options through TMs like Sludge Bomb and Shadow Ball. The only bad thing is that it is frail and it has bad physical defense, but it's designed to be a glass cannon. It can be a threat because of all the variety of things it can do. It's really nice. Along with that, it shows up so late that it doesn't really do it can't really do much for the rest of the game here, unless if you just really want to use a Houndoom. I wish it showed up earlier in the game, I'm gonna be honest with you, because it would be so nice if it could. The next Pokemon, which, man, this is still not the final Pokemon, holy crap, is Miltank. As the name implies, it is the tank of all tanks when it comes to normal types. It's a Pokemon that is strangely speedy and very tanky. Its gimmick is to be a budget Chansey, having good defense with HP and can heal itself through Milk Drink and eventually Heal Bell. It strangely learns a bunch of moves through TMs, however, due to its garbage special attack, the only ones I would ever consider giving it are Shadow Ball, Brick Break, Return, and Earthquake. While it's not bad by any means, it's just another normal type that is grossly overshadowed by Slacking. Besides that, it is a strange Pokemon that can be extremely annoying to deal with. As such, it is a wall, and if you played if you played any of these JoJo games, you would be crying right now. Freaking Whitney. The last new Pokemon you can get in the Northern Extension is Shuckle. Only found through Rock Smash, Holy Defensive Stats Batman. It is a bug rock type that has extremely high defense. As such, it is supposed to be the staller of all stallers. Attacking wise, it is pitiful of an attacker. But that's not what this thing is meant to be. This thing is meant to be really annoying with Attract, then put on Toxic and use Rest when needed, and just wall everything. It is amazing for that. As such, yeah, besides that, it's a terrible Pokemon. It's a really good win button if you can use it right, but honestly, I would not, unless if you want to have a really fun time or you want to piss somebody off. It's not bad. It's definitely a wall, but I wouldn't really suggest it. In the Southern Extension, we can get ourselves Mareep. It's a really good pure electric type that does its job very well. While it is slow and learns extremely limited moves, it takes a great advantage of Thunderbolt, via TMs unfortunately, and can be a really good support member through Cotton Spore and Light Screen. Besides that, it's a very generic electric type that isn't going to be anything different. As such, if you've used one before, you know what you're getting into. It's a good alternative to Electrike or Magnemite, but it just shows up too late to be a good consideration for an electric type member, especially since we had to freaking fight Wallace, which we basically hadn't have an electric type for. Next up is Spinarak. While better than Leddyba, no. It's a bug poison type that gets terrible moves leveling up and can only get the offensive bug move of Leech Life, which is garbage in this generation. At least it can get Sludge Bomb through TMs and can take advantage of Spider Web, which is its unique move that is basically bug type Mean Look. However, the only good stat on it is its physical attack, otherwise it's meh and just very slow. Well, it looks cool. Bug types other than Heracross or Scyther's line just suck in this generation. Bug types wouldn't really get any debut until basically Pokemon Black and White. Another new Pokemon we can get is Gligar. It's a unique flying ground type that is strangely physically tanky. Its typing gives it two unique immunities, that being electric and ground, at the cost of a water weakness and ice quad weakness. Like many Pokemon, it really has to rely on TMs to have good moves, but it can learn some good stuff like Earthquake, Sludge Bomb, and Aerial Ace. Besides that, it's not the best attacker and it has mediocre stats all around with terrible special attack. This thing gets fixed in the next generation with a better evolution, but sadly, it's stuck like this in this game. As such, it can be difficult to use, but something to throw people off if you really want to. Next up is Snubbull, a pure normal type that becomes a slow but physically adept attacker. Besides learning garbage moves naturally, it can learn some good coverage moves like Earthquake, Brick Break, Shadow Ball, and Sludge Bomb through TMs. Another bonus is that it does come with Intimidate, which is awesome. Intimidate's an awesome ability. Besides that, it's a normal type, so it's competing with Slacking and, well, now Ursaring. It's just not that special about at what it does. Along with the fact that it's slow, there's simply just other normal types that do what it does better. As such, I'd only grab it if you really want something with Intimidate. That's all I'd say. Next up is Stantler. I have no idea what the hell this thing's trying to do. It's a very balanced pure normal type that also has Intimidate. Its gimmick is to be extremely annoying through Stomp and doing Sand Attack to lower accuracy drops, then also use Confusion by, well, Confuse Ray. Okay, that was worded weirdly. It likes to confuse opponents. It does not have the move Confusion. Why does everything have to have a move? Besides that, it learns a couple of coverage moves through TMs like Shadow Ball, but that's about it. There's really nothing this thing does that distinguishes itself from the competition. Unless if you want to be hated by your friends, I just wouldn't pick this up besides Dex compilation. Next up on the waters, and pretty much the water in the both extensions, is Wooper, the final water ground type of this generation, and is the first one in the series history. Only found by surfing, its typing gives it the only weakness of grass with the immunity of electric. It carries a really high HP stat and is decent all around. It learns really good moves like Natural, Earthquake, and Surf, and then also can learn Brick Break or Sludge Bomb through TMs. While it's not offensive like Mudkip's line, it does its job very well. The only bad things are that it's slow and it has a slightly lower special attack, making Stab Water bad. Otherwise, it's a classic water ground type that does its job very well. Especially since I used one in Soul Silver, I highly recommend it. It's awesome. In conjunction with Wooper, you have its evolved form of Quagsire here. It's the same deal with Wooper. It's an amazing water ground type. Just keep in mind that it's a 1% chance to find here. And something I should mention too, I would not get the ability of Damp on this thing. That just makes it to where explosion moves in battle are negated. Get it Water Absorb, give it another immunity. It's great. Next up, you can find Remoraid, found by fishing via the Good or Super Rod. It's weird. It becomes a good mixed attacker that strangely learns a lot of moves through TMs like Flamethrower, Sludge Bomb, and Psychic. Another beauty is that it actually learns Ice Beam naturally, and it has its unique move of Octazooka, a 65 power, 85 accurate water move that has a 50% chance to lower the opponent's accuracy. As such, it can be unpredictable as an attacker, but it's frail and it's painfully slow, so its use case will vary between users. It's not horrible, it's kind of just there. And by extension, and the last Pokemon you can get there is Octillery. It's a 1% chance with the Super Rod. It's only there to skip Remoraide's evolution if you want to go and skip that. It's the same things I said about Remoraid. It's just kind of here, I guess. For a Meowth. Yeah? It's a pure normal type that becomes speedy when it evolves. It's just weirdly balanced. Learns very basic moves like Fury Swipes and gets decent coverage through TMs like Iron Tail, Thunderbolt, and Shadow Ball, and Aerial Ace. Besides that, it's mediocre at best, and it's grossly overshadowed by Slacking and Ursaring's line. As such, I'd only get it if you're trying to fill in the decks. That's about it. Find Sudowoodo here. It's a tanky and physically strong pure rock type. While slow, it can deal some heavy damage with moves like Rock Slide and Double Edge. As for TMs, it can get some good coverage through Brick Break and Earthquake, or be really annoying with Sandstorm and Double Team. Besides that, it is painfully slow and has a lot of weaknesses due to its typing of pure rock. Besides that, however, it can hit hard if it lands a move. With how late it shows up, however, it's mostly there just for dex completion. So I wouldn't recommend you ever using this thing, but it's cool that it's here. Smeargle. This thing is really weird. It's a pure normal type that technically can learn anything in the entire series. Its whole gimmick is using the move of Sketch, which copies the last move the opponent used and permanently keeps it on the Smeargle. Since it learns this move every 10 levels, you can deck yourself out with anything in the game as long as the opponent uses the move and Smeargle survives. This isn't limited either. This thing can steal exclusive legendary moves like Luster Purge. Through this, it becomes a really funny competitive weirdo that can basically do anything. However, its stats are garbage at best, and yeah, good luck trying to raise this thing. Plus, Slacking exists, it's a normal type, you get the gist. Groudon is a crazily defensive and wickedly physically offensive pure ground type that wreaks havoc. It learns crazy moves like Eruption and Solar Beam, taking advantage of its drought ability that brings out the sun, while also nerfing water types. It can annihilate things with Natural Earthquake and has great coverage through TMs, learning moves like Thunderbolt and Aerial Ace for some reason. It covers its weakness easily through Drought, and is extremely difficult to take down. As such, it is a monster that is not easily defeated. Kyogre. Arguably the best water type in the entire generation. This thing is mean. Stupidly specially tanky, has really good HP, and has a wickedly high special attack stat. It learns a crazy amount of moves, including its exclusive move of Water Spout, which is basically water type Eruption. It also naturally learns Ice Beam and can learn Thunderbolt and Thunder through TMs. Thanks to its ability of Drizzle, it can permanently make Thunder hit 100% of the time, making it a monster against flying types and water types. The only thing it could have issues with is against electric types, but this thing hits so hard that it just doesn't care. It is ridiculously overpowered to the point where it is constantly used in Pokemon Sapphire speedruns. As such, if you see this appear, run! Beldum. Beldum is terrifying. While really crappy right now, considering it only knows the move a freaking takedown until it evolves, it becomes a scary physical attacker and tank that wipes the floor competitively. It's a unique Steel Psychic type that Gen 3 screws up a little thanks to Psychic being special in this gen. However, it naturally learns the amazing move of Meteor Mash, a 100 power, 85 accurate steel move that has a 20% chance to raise your attack. Along with this, it learns really good coverage moves like Earthquake, Shadow Ball, Brick Break, Aerial Ace, and Sludge Bomb. If this thing sets up with Iron Defense as well, it is incredibly difficult to kill because it has the amazing ability of Clear Body, making it to where you cannot debuff it. Its typing also makes it immune to poison, and its only weak to fire, Ghost, Dark, and Ground. While it shows up late, it is amazing for competitive battling, especially at the Battle Frontier, since it's not illegal or anything. As such, it is ridiculously good, and it is a very high recommendation, except for the fact that it literally shows up at the very end of the game. So let's start with Chikorita. It's a pure grass type and is a very big stereotype of all grass starters. It's especially defensive and offensive, learns decent moves, and is mostly a powder user with some support moves like Light Screen. Besides that, it's a balanced Pokemon that doesn't really get to do much due to its okay other stats. If you like the standard grass type, it's for you. It doesn't learn all that great of moves, it's pretty slow, it doesn't really do much, but it's a very good support Pokemon, and I gotta give it points for that. The other one, the water starter, is Totodile. It's a pure water type that is completely screwed by Gen 3. It's strangely a physical attacker and defender that primarily learns special moves in this generation thanks to, well, water being special. It does get some okay coverage TMs, such as Brick Break, Earthquake, and Aerial Ace, but sadly it can't really take advantage of Water Stab due to its okay special attack. It's not bad by any means, but I would simply just wait a generation if you want to use this thing in its fullest capabilities. And the final starter, and my personal favorite out of the three, is Cyndaquil, a pure fire type that is extremely destructive. It's a special sweeper that is fast, allowing it to take advantage of natural flamethrower. It also has decent attack, letting it get some type variety via TM such as Brick Break, Earthquake, and Aerial Ace. Slap on Overheat and a Charcoal on this thing and you have a beast of a special attacker. Besides that, the only special moves it learns are fire moves, so you won't be getting any special variety as a result. Personally, I do think it's the best of the three because it is just such a sweeper. It's basically budget Charizard. You can't really complain about that.